Yeah, so for everyone who's watching, my name is Ron Kwok. I am the CEO of Clearly Basics. And Caroline is one of our big fans out in the US. So we're actually literally doing this call from the other side of the world from each other.
Yes.
Cool. So it's,
I'm in Florida right now and it's nighttime and I think it's morning for you.
yes, that's correct. I guess just to start, Caroline, tell me just more about your skin issues. What is it about, products you've tried in the past and, what is different about Clearly Basics?
Yes. So I have kind of had an up and down skincare journey. I was actually looking at old pictures today, and back in high school, my skin, I'd never had any problems at all. And then in college, I started to see just some sensitivity start to take place where certain products or the weather or changes in season or anything could make my skin break out a little bit. And now I feel like my skin is kind of at peak sensitivity where the littlest thing will make me break out. So wearing a mask has not been fun. And so in the past, I've tried tons of different products, and normally have a bad reaction and I stop and I try something else, which probably is even worse for my skin going from product to product to product to product. And the range of severity of the ingredients in the products probably is not good to switch around in. So I mentioned these problems to a friend before my wedding this summer, and she recommended Clearly Basics to me. And I've loved the products. My skin, I stuck with it, and my skin cleared up dramatically within a few weeks of using the products. And really, I could tell a difference in a few days. And then on my wedding day, thank goodness, my skin was clear. And I definitely attribute that to the consistency of using good products that are designed for sensitive and acne prone skin.
So I'm curious, I mean, you said that something changed in terms of sensitivity. Do you kind of
Mhm.
know what that was, or do you think it was like a compound of other factors that kind of snowballed?
Just in my life, I moved. So I was in a different state that had different water quality. And I think that always has an effect. My stress levels went up a lot when I started, working full time after college. And I think, like I said, I got impatient and I would switch from product to product to product and crazy skincare treatment to treatment. And so I think I kind of messed up my own skin by being so paranoid about it and starting to pick at my face a little bit and use so many different products that were probably butting against each other and not helping my skin.
Yeah. That's generally what we find with a lot of people is, adult onset acne is very common now. I mean, what's crazy is that um, if you look at the data, right, in the um, 1980s, 1990s even, adult onset acne was extremely rare. And so adult onset acne is technically defined as acne after the age of 24. And
Okay.
now really reach epidemic level. But
Yeah.
yeah, it is a combination, if I were to say, of
Hmm.
new environments, right? Most people move, stress, and then it's compounded by, as you say, like all of these products people put on that weren't even designed to work together, and it
Right.
just, it causes a quote unquote skin freak out. But the technical
Yeah.
term really, it compromises your lipid barrier. And
Hmm.
so the lipid barrier is like a mix of oil and dead skin that protect your body from the outside world, right? So, you know, debris, any of that little stuff will cause it. And one of the telltale signs of a compromised lipid barrier is that sensitivity, that flushing, that blushing. So
Hmm.
if your skin easily flushes or blushes or easily reacts, like, that's when you kind of know that, hey, these are yellow flags. Your body is telling you something's wrong. And so tell us more about the products you use now and what is it about it that you like? I'm curious.
So right now well, I had been using the balancing cleanser, the toner, the clarifying toner, lighten up, and the protective moisturizer. And so I loved those, but now I've also added the So Fresh cleanser into the mix because I love everything about it. I tried it and I became like addicted to using it. So that's also in my lineup. And sometimes I use that instead of my balancing cleanser, which I kind of wanted to ask you, is it one or the other? Do they go together? Do I do one in the morning, one at night, or do I need to pick one?
Yeah. So at least from a design standpoint, right? We actually built the balancing cleanser
Hmm.
as a oily skin. So it's ironic that you actually use it, but that's kind of intentional as well. Like
Okay.
a 2% glycolic acid wash is common, or a salicylic, one or the other, right? But actually having 2% glycolic, 2% salicylic is actually very rare
Hmm.
because two are actually quite harsh on its own, but when combined together, it's actually pretty powerful. So I don't know if you know, but you can actually leave that cleanser on um,
No.
half an hour. Yeah, you can leave it on for half an hour and you actually get a gentle peel. So it's like a
What? That's amazing.
salicylic acid glycolic peel. And we spent a lot of research. And that's why it is a little bit more expensive, is if you look at the ingredient list, there are so many botanicals that basically
Hmm.
cut the edge off of these acids. And
Hmm.
so at least what we found is that botanicals are just a very well balanced complexes. I mean, they're just past the test of time and evolution. And so they're really able to do a lot of multifunctional things. So on your skin, a number of these botanicals that we added in, and in pretty high concentrations, they actually help to cut off the edge. And the reason why we do that is that, when you're dealing with acne-prone skin, I mean, there's literally the whole spectrum of oily all the way to very sensitive, right?
Hmm.
So, we're trying to design all of our products to be used across the whole range.
Well, I've definitely enjoyed it, and I can tell that the products are different. And I could talk to you for hours about all the science behind it. And I'm so glad we get to do this because I think it's really interesting. And that's definitely the missing link between everyone spending so much money on all these products and not getting the results. Well, I do have some questions about the new cleanser, the
Uh,
So Fresh, actually. Yeah. So I know that it's made with peppermint and lime as two of the natural ingredients. And that's a combination I haven't seen before or really heard about. So I'm just curious why those two ingredients and what do they each do for the skin?
your skin is a flora, right? A biome. And so there is, at any time, a balance of bacteria and fungi on your skin. And so when that balance is disrupted, this is when you start getting problems, like um, fungal acne or folliculitis, right? Is very common with people with impaired lipid barriers, right? Because they just have not enough bacteria, too much fungus, and it starts to cause irritation in the pores. And it looks like bacteria, it looks like acne, but it's these little small red, very, very patterned bumps across an area of the skin.
Interesting.
And it's
Hmm.
itchy. It's very itchy, right? And that's the telltale sign. And again, that's not even a yellow flag. There's a clear red flag that you've got an imbalance going on. And so for us, a cleanser is a very important start and base. And when we started formulating cleansers and testing them, especially with people with sensitive acne-prone skin, generally the toughest part of the market, we just felt that they were overwashing in some
Hmm.
areas, and almost everyone doesn't have just dry skin all the way around or sensitive, right? Like they have combinations. So
Right.
generally, cheeks are drier, and T-zone has more oil. And what
Hmm.
we realized is that they spend a lot of time here, where they're
Yeah.
dry, and they spend a lot of time here. So this area of your face is the most dry area of your skin. Like when you look at most people, this area is the first area where you show aging, full stop,
Hmm.
right? The eye bags, the sagging, the dark circles,
Crow's feet.
yes, crow's feet, the dull skin, the dull, tired look.
Hmm.
All that starts right here. And guess what? This is here is where you overwash. And so, we have the novel concept of saying, let's introduce a feedback loop so that you know what you're doing. And so,
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, I mean, you've been using it now, right?
Yeah.
Um, when you wash, I mean, what do you notice? Like now that you have a tingle, right? And you have sensitive skin, so tell us, is it a burning tingle? Is it, this or that, the smell and all that?
So when you start using the cleanser, you don't feel anything right away. You just notice the wonderful smell of mint and lime that's natural and doesn't smell like fake. And you'll notice there's a tingle that starts to happen, but it happens in different areas of my face faster than others. So in those dry spots, like under my eyes or right here where I just go nuts over washing, it starts to tingle much faster in the right under my eyes and in that area. I don't feel much tingle at all, like here or here for a little bit. And then I start to feel it as well. But it kind of, like you said, it gives me that tap on the shoulder. Hey, we're done here, but you could still go a little more here. And I've been wearing the mask because of COVID. And so I'm getting acne in places that I'm not used to. And the cleanser helps me think about actually washing those areas where before I would never, ever, ever wash my face right there. I would never think about that. But now we probably all need to be thinking about that.
The reason why we chose peppermint and lime is that they actually help with acne as well. So mint or peppermint is a natural antiseptic. So it actually will kill bacteria and
Hmm.
specifically gram-negative bacteria, which is the type of bacteria which acne is. And again, that's actually very important. A lot of people with especially sensitive skin, they generally don't even wash with a cleanser. They just rinse with water. And we generally say, look, this is a soap-free cleanser, right? So it's not going to
Right.
strip. And again, I'll give you the feedback loop, but you need to have a little bit of something to kill off that bacterial load. And this is
Hmm.
why you're getting maskne here, and you typically don't get acne, Caroline, is
Right.
that bacterial load as it gets too high. Again, think hot, humid area for 8 hours, right?
Yeah.
That bacterial load just starts to build, and then
Hmm.
balance starts to swing, and boom, you got acne. And mint, the reason why we use it is it's really, it also is an antioxidant, but it helps to stimulate collagen growth. This will give you a little bit of that boost. This will basically form a really good base